Good evening. In today's class, I am going to explain you some more problems based on the topic elasticity. All these questions are from a recent previous JEE main. So, you will understand how carefully we need to do the calculation part while answering the question paper. Read that problem. A force is applied to a steel wire A rigidly clamped at one end. As a result, elongation is given as 0.2 mm if same force is applied on a steel wire. So, force is same, both wires are made up of steel. That means Young's modulus is same, and B has double the length. So, L2 is twice the length of the first wire and diameter is 2.4 times. If diameter is 2.4 times, radius will be 2.4 times that of first one. If elongation produced in the first wire is 0.2 mm, what is the elongation produced in the second wire? So, here from the data, same force is applied, same material is used. So, Y is same for both. So, lengths ratio is given, radii ratio is given. You are supposed to find the elongation of the second wire when the elongation produced in the first wire is given. So, we know Y is equal to FL by AE. In this particular example, Y is constant, same force is applied. So, E is proportional to L by A. So, E2 is equal to L2 by L1, A1 by A2 into E1. Let us substitute the data given. E2 is equal to, from this expression, what is L2 by L1? It is equal to 2. And what is A1 by A2? See here, ratio of R1 and R2. R1 by R2 is equal to 1 by 2.4. So, A1 by A2 will be R1 by R2 whole square into E1. So, here on substitution, E2 is equal to 2 into R2 by R1 is 1.1 by 2. R1 by R2 is 1 by 2.4 whole square into E1 is given as 0.2 millimeters. So, as the answer is expressed in millimeters, you need not convert that. So, here it is 2 by 2.4 into 2.4 into 0.2. On doing simplification, we are getting it as 6.9 into 10 to the power of minus 2 millimeters. So, this is the correct option given. Here the main hint is same material, means Y is same force. So, we just use the relation Y is equal to FL by AE. So, let us move on to the second problem. Look here, Young's modulus of a steel wire is given as 10 to the power of 11, 2 into 10 to the power of 11, 2 into 10 power 11 Newton per meter square, and cross sectional area is given as 3 millimeter square. Wire is suspended from the support on a given planet. A block of mass 4 kg is suspended to the free end of the wire. The acceleration due to gravity on that planet is given as 1/4 that on the earth. On earth it is given as 10. So, on that planet it is going to be 1/4, that is 10 by 4. What is the elongation produced? So, Y is equal to mgl by AE. So, just to substitute that value, you get the answer. So, E is equal to, what is the mass of the load attached here? It is 4. And acceleration due to gravity on that planet is 1/4 that of the earth, mg, and length is given as 6. And area of cross section is given as 3 millimeter square. Milli means 10 power minus 3, millimeter square is 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, and Y, Young's modulus is given as 2 into 10 to the power of 11. 2 into 10 to the power of 11. So here 4 6 are 24, 12 2s are 24. So they get cancelled. See here, this is 10 to the power of minus 4. See here, this becomes 10 to the power of 5. Thus goes to the numerator, 10 to the power of 4 meters. Right? Answer is 10 to the power of minus 4 meters. If you look at the options are given in mm or in centimeters. So that's close to mm. So this can be written as 10 to the power of minus 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. 10 power minus 3 meters is 1 mm. So this becomes 0.1 millimeter. So first option is true for that problem. Move on to the next. Look here. See, a steel wire of length 3.2 meters, Young's modulus 2 into 10 power 11, and a copper wire. Let this be the steel wire and let this be the copper wire. And here, both of them, they have the same radius 1.4 mm, are connected end to end and stretched by a load. The net elongation produced is 1.4 millimeters. Find the load applied. See here, the two wires, the steel wire and copper wire are connected. Load is applied here. So both the wires experience the same load when they are connected end to end or when they are connected in series. That is the very important conclusion. When they are connected, F is same for both. Okay, the load attached, the restoring force developed in both the wires will be same. Here lengths L1, L2, Young's moduli Y1, Y2 are given. Both of them, they have equal radius, that is 1.4 mm. Radius is given. Now look here. When stretched by a load, the net elongation produced. Net elongation is sum of the two elongations produced. So E1 plus E2. So follow me very carefully. We have Y is equal to FL by AE, from which E is equal to FL by AY. So F is constant, and because in end-to-end connection they experience the same load. And A is same. It is mentioned that both of them, they have the same radius, hence area of cross section is same. So E1 plus E2 is equal to F by A, as they are same in both cases, L1 by Y1 plus L2 by Y2, from which F is equal to the total elongation. Let us take it as E, because net extension produced is given. So E by L1 by A1 Y1 plus L2 by A2 Y2. Is it all right? After that, just we need to do the substitution of the data given. But there you have to be very, very cautious, because if you observe the calculation, you have to substitute all the values, and on top of it, radius is given. You have to find the area of cross section of the wire. That is, you have to use the relation pi r square. Okay, so after doing the complete calculation, we get it as 154. That is the load attached to the series combination of the steel wire as well as the copper wire. Go on to the next problem. A uniform heavy rod, mass is given, cross-sectional weight is given, cross-sectional area length is given, hanging from a fixed support. Young's modulus is also given. Neglecting the lateral contraction, find the elongation due to its own weight. So here we have only one relation, y is equal to FL by AE. So as the rod is hanging under its own weight, force experienced by that rod will be equal to its weight, that is mg. Here L is the length. See, we will consider this rod as a wire at the end of which a load is attached. right? So as the center of mass, as the weight is concentrated at the center of mass, the effective length we take it as L by 2. That is the most important thing you have to observe. So when a rod is hanging under its own weight, when extension is asked, so the effective length becomes half the length of the rod, because its weight will be concentrated at its end, at the center, that is at the center of mass. So Y is equal to mg L by 2 AE. So you are supposed to find the extension produced. See, if you observe, everything else is given. Weight is given as 10 kg meter per second square. Kg meter per second square is Newton. So weight mg is given as 10. Area of cross section is given as 100 centimeter square. Need to convert that into meter square. So it is into 10 power minus 4. Length is given as 0.2 meters. Young's modulus is given as 2 into 10 to the power of 11 Newton per meter square. So what is the extension produced? So just on substitution, simplify that. See here, what do we get? 0.2 into 10 is 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. It is E is equal to 1 by 2 is 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 9, or it is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. So that is a correct option for that. Here the most important thing you must observe is you have to take length as L by 2, because when a rod is hanging under its own weight, as its weight is concentrated at the center, effective length we consider it as L by 2. Okay, so look into this next problem. Two wires of same length, same radius are joined end to end and loaded. Young's moduli are given as Y1 and Y2. So what is the combination behaves as a single wire? Then what is the Young's modulus of the single wire? You see here, two wires of same area of cross section, same length, but Young's moduli Y1 and Y2 are connected end to end, a load is attached side. So if this behaves like a single wire, what is the effective Young's modulus of the series combination? So just in the previous problem we have seen, when two wires are connected end to end, both of them they experience the same load, and extension, the net extension produced will be E1 plus E2. So here E is, from this expression, Y is equal to FL by AE, from which E is equal to FL by AY. Just considering this, the net extension in both the wires is F into the total length of the composite wire is L plus L, area of cross section is A, effective Young's modulus of the composite wire is Y. That is equal to E1 plus E2. E1 is F1 L1 by A1 Y1. Here, as they are connected in series, force is same. Hence F. L1 is, so here this is F into 2L by A Y F. Both of them are similar wires. They have the same length, same area of cross section. So plus F L A Y2. So what are the things we can take as common factor and cancel? F we can take common factor, L and A. So from that we got the expression as 2 by Y is equal to 1 by Y1 plus 1 by Y2 implies 2 by Y is equal to, if you take Y1 Y2 as LCM, it becomes Y1 plus Y2, implies Y is equal to 2Y1 Y2 by Y1 plus Y2. That's a very common question, repeated several times in the previous examination. So the correct option is 2Y1 Y2 by Y1 plus Y2. Move on to the next problem. Look here. The value of tension in a long thin metal wire has been changed from T1 to T2. Lengths of the metal wires at these two different values of tensions are L1 and L2 respectively. Find the actual length of the metal wire. See here, actually Y is equal to FL by AE. Okay, so here the same wire is taken. So Y is same, L is same, A is same, remains constant. This implies F by E is constant. F by E is constant. That implies in the first case, tension in the string is nothing but the restoring force F1. At that elongation, actually the initial length of the wire is say L. When tension T1 is applied, length is L1. So final length minus initial length becomes extension produced. So E is equal to L1 minus L in the first case. Similarly, in the second case, restoring force developed is nothing but tension created in the string by corresponding length is given as L2. L2 minus L gives extension produced in the second case. On cross multiplication, you get it as T1 L2 minus T1 L is equal to T2 L1 minus T2 L. Because you want L here, so bring the T2 this side. L into T2 minus T1 is equal to T, bring that to the other side, T2 L1 minus T1 L2, from which L is equal to T2 L1 minus T1 L2 by T2 minus T1, or if you take that minus here, it becomes T1 L2 minus T2 L1 by T1 minus T2. So in which form it is given? T1 L2 minus T2 L1 by T1 minus T2. So first option is the correct choice for that. So here on the same wire, when tension T1 is applied, its corresponding length is L1. When T2 is a tension, corresponding length is L2. Then what is the natural length of the wire? That is the question. So it is natural length of the wire is T1 L2 minus T2 L1 by T1 minus T2, because from this expression Y is FL by AE, as same wire is taken, L and A are kept constant. Y is also constant. So F by E should remain constant. So T1 by L1 minus L must be equal to T2 by L2 minus E. That is the main concept. Okay. Now move on to the next. A cube of metal is subjected to a hydrostatic pressure 4 gigapascals. Percentage change in the length of the side of the cube is close to. Look here. Pressure applied on that cube is 4 giga. Giga means 10 to the power of 9. 4 into 10 to the power of 9 pascals. And bulk modulus is given as 8 into 10 to the power of 10 pascals. So you are supposed to find percentage change in the length of the side. Percentage change is fractional length into 100, delta L by L into 100. But in bulk modulus consideration, we don't straight away talk about the fractional change in length, but we talk about the fractional change in volume. So here we know volume is equal to L cube. So for small changes, delta V by V is equal to, as power of length is 3 here, 3 into delta L by L. So delta V by V is 3 into delta L by L. From that we can say, look here, percentage change in L is equal to 1/3 of percentage change in V. That is the key factor here. Now we know only this expression, isn't it, for the bulk modulus PV by delta V. From that, delta V by V is equal to P by K. So let us try to find out delta V by V, that is equal to P by K. That is, here P is given as 4 into 10 to the power of 9, and k is given as 8 into 10 to the power of 10. So that is 1 by 2, right? 1 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 1. Okay, that is delta V by V. Percentage change in V becomes delta V by V into 100. 1 by 2 is 0.5 into 10 power minus 1 into 100, isn't it? So that is 5%. We are not asked to find percentage change in volume. Okay, we are asked to find percentage change in side length. That is 1/3 percentage change in volume. So percentage change in length is 5 by 3. That is 1.67%. Okay, so in such areas you have to be very cautious, because when once you get this value 5%, you get excited seeing this number. So if you are hasty, you will be getting -1 instead of getting 4 marks. So here the most important, the keyword that should be registered properly is percentage change in length of the side is asked. Okay. Now move on to the next problem. Look here. The elastic limit of brass is 379 megapascals. What should be the minimum diameter of brass rod so that it supports 400 Newton load without exceeding its elastic limit? Elastic limit or breaking stress are one and the same. Let us represent the breaking stress of brass with the letter Xi. X is equal to maximum force it can withstand per unit area of cross section, that is given as 379 megapascals. Mega means 10 to the power of 6. So X is given as 379 into 10 power 6. Force is, it has to withstand a force of 400 Newton. So what is the minimum diameter? So area of cross section is F by X. So here area of cross section means pi r square. So pi r square is equal to F by X. See what is F here? It is 400. X is 379 into 10 to the power of 6. So r square is equal to 400 by 379 into 10 to the power of 6. F by X pi. Right? So if you want to know r value, you have to take square roots on both sides. It will be like this. But we are asked to find out the diameter. So you get r from this calculation, and finally diameter of the wire is equal to 2r. On simplification, we are getting it as diameter as 1.16 millimeters. In these problems, you have to complete the calculation part by yourself. Only then you will minimize the silly mistakes or calculation mistakes in the final exam. That's a very important precaution all of you must follow. Move on to the next. Look here. Two blocks of masses 3 kg and 5 kg are connected by a metal wire going over a smooth pulley. Find the breaking stress of the material. No, breaking stress of the material is given. You are supposed to find the minimum radius. More or less previous model type. There the minimum diameter is asked. Here you are asked to find out the minimum radius of the wire. See here, this is Atwood's machine. We know pretty much well the formula for tension in the string, 2m1 m2g by m1 plus m2. So 3 into 5 into 10 by 4. So the tension in the string created is 150 by 4 Newton. That is nothing but restoring force developed in the string. Now come to this point. F by A, let us take it as breaking stress is given as 24 by pi into 10 square Newton per meter square. A is equal to F by X. So pi r square is F by X. From this you got r square. So R will be root of 150 by 96 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay, and so just you are supposed to find the radius here. So from that you got the we get the radius as 12.5 into 10 power minus 2 meters. 10 power minus 2 is centimeter, so the answer is 12.5 centimeters. That is the right choice. You have to be cautious. Here all the numbers are same 1, 2, 5, but the decimals are different. From this you can estimate the thing. See here, approximately if you take it as 100, that goes to the numerator 10 power minus 2. So when it comes out of the root, you will be left with 10 power minus 2. 150 under square root, 144 under square root is 12, 150 under square root is 12.5. So this is 12.5 into 10 power minus 2 centimeters or 12.5 centimeters. Okay. Now next look into this problem. Again you have to be cautious in reading the problem. Two slabs with square cross section of different materials. So different modulus of rigidity are different in different slabs there. They have the equal side L and the thicknesses D1, D2 such that D2 is greater than 2D1, L is greater than D2. So that means thickness is smaller than length. Considering the lower edges of these slabs fixed, we apply equal shearing forces on the narrow faces. That is the most important thing. So the narrow face area, it becomes length into D, because if you take L into A, as L is greater than D, that becomes wider face area. But here the tangential force is applied on the narrow face. So narrow face or cross sectional area becomes length into thickness. So here it is given like this. The shearing stress given produced in the case of second slab is 2 theta 1, rigidity modulus of the first slab is given, and the thickness of the second slab is given as twice D1. You are supposed to find the rigidity modulus of the second slab. First of all, let us try to find out the rigidity modulus. See here, we have considered this diagram, isn't it? See, on applying shearing force like this is delta theta, then N is equal to force per unit area per unit strain, shearing strain, F by A delta theta. See here, again I have written it, shear is on the narrow face. That is the heart of the problem. You have to identify that, only then you get the correct answer. Shear is on the narrow face. So area of cross section is L into D. Okay, A1 is L into D1, A2 is L into D2. Look here, N is equal to F by A delta theta. F is same in both cases, L is same in both cases. So N is inversely proportional to D delta theta. N2 is equal to D1 by inversely proportional. So N2 is D1 by D2 delta theta 1 by delta theta 2 times N1. So from this expression, theta 1 by theta 2 is, see here, D1 by D2 is equal to 1 by 2. Theta 1 by theta 2 is 1 by 2. N1 is given as 4 into 10 to the power of 9. So it is 1 into 10 to the power of 9. 2 2s are 4, gets cancelled. So the rigidity modulus of the second block is 1 into 10 to the power of 9. But he has given it as x into 10 to the power of 9. So in place of x, we got it as 1. So that is the correct choice for the problem. Here the most important thing is shearing force is on the narrow face, not on the square face. If shearing force is applied on the square face, area of cross section becomes the same. Okay, then it is independent of the thickness. Delta theta is independent of the thickness. But here it is mentioned that shearing force is on the narrow face, So area of cross section becomes length into d, that is the thickness. That is the most important idea you have to register. Come back to this 31st problem. A sample of liquid is kept at 1 atmosphere. It is compressed to 4 atmospheres. So what is the increase in pressure? Initial pressure is 1, final pressure is 5. What is the increase in pressure? It is 5 minus 1, that is 4 atmospheres. 1 atmosphere is 10 to the power of 5 pascals. So the additional pressure applied on that is 4 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Now look here, which leads to a change in volume of 0.8 centimeter cube. So change in volume is given as 0.8 centimeter cube. You have to convert that into meter cube. 1 cc is 10 power minus 6 meter cube. So it is 0.8 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube, and bulk modulus is given as 2 GPa, gigapascals. So K is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 9 Pascal. So what is the original volume of the liquid taken? So we know only one formula for bulk modulus, PV by delta V, from which you are supposed to find the original volume. V is equal to K into delta V by P. So let us substitute the values. K is given as 2 into 10 to the power of 9. Delta V is given as 0.8 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by P is given as 4 into 10 to the power of 5. 4 into 10 to the power of 5. So this 10 to the power of 3, this 10 to the power of minus 2, this 0.2 times. So this is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3. 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube. If you observe, you are supposed to express the answer in terms of liters. 1 liter is 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So 10 power minus 3 meter cube is 1 liter. So the answer is, it is 4 liters. So the numerical value in that problem is 4. Is it okay? So you have to do the conversions carefully, because here we have converted cc to meter cube, and in the final answer we have converted meter cube to liter. So you have to be careful with all such kind of conversions. Now, the increase in pressure required to decrease the volume of a water sample by 0.2%. 0.2%. Delta V by V is 0.2 by 100. Its bulk modulus is given as 2.15 into 10 power 9. What is the pressure required? It is such a simple problem. K is equal to PV by delta V. So from which P is equal to K into delta V by V. Just do the substitution. K is given as 2.15 into 10 to the power of 9. Delta V by V is given as 0.2 by 100. On substitution, 0.43 into 10 to the power of 7, but it is given as P into 10 to the power of 5. So this becomes 43 into 10 to the power of 5. So, but it is given as P into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. So in place of P, you have the number 43. So the numerical value is 43 here. Okay, move on to the next problem. Look here, the volume contraction of a solid copper cube of edge 10 centimeters. It is a cube of edge length 10 centimeters. When subjected to a hydraulic pressure, what would be the volume contraction? What is delta V? So here it is a cube of side length 10 centimeters. That is 10 to the power of minus 1 meters. So volume becomes 10 to the power of minus 1 whole cube. That is 10 power minus 3 meter cube. And you need to find out the volume contraction. What is the decrease in volume? Delta V is asked. K is given as 1.4 into 10 to the power of 11. Okay. Now, K is equal to PV by delta V. Delta V is equal to PV by K. So here pressure applied is 7 into 10 to the power of 6 pascals and volume is 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by K is given as 1.4 into 10 to the power of 11, right? So 1.4 5 times, right? So this 10 to the power of 11, if it goes to the numerator, 10 power minus 11. So it becomes 5 into 10 to the power of 3 into 10 power minus 11 is 10 power minus 9 meter cube. That is delta V we got. But if you look at the answer, he mentioned that, no, it is 50. 50 into 10 to the power, look here, 1.4 gets cancelled 5 times, 5 into 10 to the power of 6, this goes to the numerator. So 10 power minus 14 into 6, 10 power minus 8, 5 into 10 to the power of minus 8, or delta V is equal to 50 into 10 to the power of minus 9 meter cube, right? So 1 millimeter is 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. 1 millimeter cube is 10 to the power of minus 9 meter cube. So 10 power minus 9 meter cube is nothing but millimeter cube. So compression produced is 50 millimeter cube. So the numerical value is 50 here. Okay, so problem is simple, but again you have to be a bit cautious regarding that conversion. It is given in millimeter cube. Move on to the next problem. Two persons pull a wire towards themselves. Each person exerts a force of 200 Newton. Young's modulus of the wire is given. Original length of the wire, area of cross section is given. Extension produced in the wire. See here, this is the wire. Two persons are pulling the rope towards each other. Then we have done so many problems in the chapter Newton's laws of motion, isn't it? When in a tug of war, two persons pull the rope with equal force, then force F each, then tension produced in the rope is nothing but F. So from that, tension produced in the rope is force applied by each person, that is 200 Newton. Tension in the string is nothing but the restoring force developed in the rope. So restoring force developed in the rope is 200. Young's modulus is given as 1 into 10 to the power of 11. Length is given as 2 meters. Length of the wire is given as 2 meters. Area of cross section is given as 2 centimeter square. Centimeter square has to be converted into meter square. So A is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square. So we have converted everything into MKS system. You are supposed to find extension here. Extension is just FL by AY. Now look here. Let us do the calculation part a bit carefully. 10 to the power of minus 4, 10 to the power of 11, it will be 10 power 7. Let us take that to the numerator. It is 10 to the power of minus 7. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. It is 200 into 10 power minus 7 or 20 into 10 power minus 6 meters. If you look at the option, it is given in micrometers. 10 power minus 6 meter is 1 micrometer. So it is 20 micrometer. So the numerical value is 20 micrometers. So numerical value is just 20. Okay. Now look into this question. It's an interesting question. So follow me carefully. So just try to understand that a wire of length say 2L is connected between two vertical rigid supports. A load of 2 kg is suspended exactly at the center, then very obviously it gets extended and it comes down, making an angle theta with the horizontal. So here theta is also given. You are supposed to find what is area, cross-sectional area of the rope you are supposed to find. So here, okay, so look into that question now, and here this is tension T, this is tension T, as both of them are making same angles with the horizon, they do, isn't it? Same wire, exactly at the center, load is attached. If their lengths are equal, they make exactly equal angles with the horizontal, these two angles are same. So this angle from the triangle, this angle becomes 180 minus 2 theta. So the tension in both of them will be equal. So let us take tension in each portion of the string as T. So these two tensions are at an angle 180 minus 2 theta. We know when two equal vectors are at an angle theta, their resultant is 2t cos theta by 2. Here in place of theta we have 180 minus 2 theta. So the resultant of these two tensions is 2t cos 180 minus 2 theta by 2, that is equal to 20. mg, g is given as 10 meter per second square. Oh. G is given as 10 meter per second square. So 2t sin 90 minus 2 theta by 2 is 90 minus theta, sorry, cos 90 minus 2 theta by 2, cos 90 minus theta, that is equal to sin theta. So 2t sin theta is 20. Here one very important thing is, theta is given as 1 by 100 radian, it is too small. When theta is small, sin theta becomes equal to theta. So in place of sin theta, we just substitute theta here. 2t into theta is given as 1 by 100. So 2t into 1 by 100 is 20, from which t is equal to 1000 Newton, right? Now stay back. Young's modulus of the material is given. The length of the, see here, I think that diagram is missing, but anyway, I can redraw the diagram. This length is given as 2L, this angle is given as theta, this as theta, this becomes 180 minus 2 theta, and this is tension T, this is tension T, and this is 2 kg suspended. That is what given in the problem. Now, Young's modulus is given, the total length, that is 2L. This entire length is given as 2 meters, mass suspended is given as 2 kg, and g is given as 10 meter per second square. I am taking this portion of length as L here, okay, and this as x here. From this right angle triangle, this side will be root of L square plus x square. So extension, this is the most important part of the problem. Extension produced is this minus this. Just we are considering only this part. So root of L square plus x square minus L square is the extension produced, right? So here E is equal to, if you take L as common factor, L into 1 plus x square by L square to the power of half. Actually, I skipped one step here. So E is equal to, if you take L square as common factor, 1 plus x square by L square to the power of half minus L, not L square, minus L, isn't it? So minus L here, right? See, this length minus this length, so minus L. See here, if you take the binomial expansion, we are neglecting the higher order terms because x will be very small when compared to the length, because we came to that decision as theta given is very small, that is only 1 by 100th of a radian. So here, neglecting the higher order terms, this becomes 1 plus x square by 2L square. So if you expand, L plus x square by 2L square into L minus L, so you will be left with this expression. Okay, now from this right angle triangle, x is equal to L sin theta. So let us substitute in this expression L, x as L sin theta. So look here very carefully. From this expression, y is equal to FL by AE, A is equal to FL by EY. So follow me carefully. So F is the tension produced. tension produced is how much you got tension? See here, it is 1000. So, F is 1000. FL, right? L is, I have taken this portion of the length, so L by E. E is x square. X square is L square sin square theta by 2L by Y is given as 2 into 10 to the power of 11. So, from that you have to just L square gets cancelled, this 2 gets cancelled. So, A is equal to, this is 10 to the power of 3 by sin theta is theta, that is 1 by 100 whole square, that is 10 to the power of 4, right? So, 10 to the power of 4 divided by 10 to the power of 11. If this goes to the numerator, 10 to the power of 7 minus 10 to the power of 11, it is 10 to the power of 7 minus 10 to the power of 11, it is 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square. See, look here, what is given? A is x into 10 to the power of minus 4, you need to find x here. X is simply 1 because it is just 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square. So, x into 10 power minus 4 says x value is 1. Okay, is that problem clear? I am just explaining, it is simple, not that difficult, but it's an interesting problem. See here, load is suspended from the center of that rope, so it gets depressed by a distance equal to x. So, you are supposed to find out the area of cross section. So, we have only one formula, y is FL by AE, from which A is equal to FL by EY. So, our concentration must be, F is given straight away, Y is given straight away, you have to concentrate on E, extension produced. Extension produced in each portion, this length minus this length, that is root of L square plus x square minus L. So, you got that extension. And another thing is, theta is given as 1 by 100 radian. As theta is very small, sin theta is equal to theta, from which we could get the tension. To find out the tension, as these two are equal, the resultant of two equal forces at an angle theta is given by 2p cos theta by 2. But here in place of theta, we have 180 minus 2 theta. So, on substitution, 2t cos 180 minus 2 theta by 2 is 2t sin theta, and okay. So, you do it by yourself, definitely you get thrilled. Okay, move on to the next problem. Look here, density and breaking stress of a wire are given as 6 into 10 to the power of 4 kg per meter cube, and so density, this is the density and this is the breaking stress of a wire. Wire is suspended from a rigid support on a planet where acceleration due to gravity is 1/3 the value on the surface of Earth. Find the maximum length of the wire without breaking. So, that means the rope is hanging under its own weight. Then F by A is the breaking stress. F by A, let us call it, take it as x. X is equal to, as it is hanging under its own weight, weight is mg by A. But mass is equal to volume into density, AL dg by A. So, the formula we got it as breaking stress x is equal to LdG. Actually, we have seen this in the synopsis part also. When a rope is hanging under its own weight, breaking stress is given by LdG, where L is the maximum permissible length, D is the density, G is the acceleration due to gravity at that place. Now, the maximum length becomes from this x by dg. Now, breaking stress is given as 1.2 into 10 power 8 Newton per meter square. Density is given as 6 into 10 to the power of 4. G is given as, look here, on Earth it is given as 10 meter per second square. But on that planet, acceleration due to gravity is 1/3 that on Earth. it is mentioned in the problem. So in this problem, the value of G, we take it as 10 by 3 meter per second square. So substituting this data in the formula for L is equal to X, that is 1.2 into 10 power 8 by D, 6 into 10 to the power of 4, G, 10 by 3. If you simplify that, you got it as 0.6 into 10 power 3, but here 0.6 into 10 power 3 is nothing but 600 meters. So the maximum permissible length of the rope that can hang under its own weight within the breaking limit or within the elastic limit in this problem is found to be 600 meters. Okay, so breaking stress when a rope is hanging under its own weight is X is equal to LdG, where L is the maximum possible length of the rope and D is its density, G is acceleration due to gravity on that planet. Move on to the next problem. One end of a metal wire is fixed to a ceiling and a load of 2 kg hangs from the other end. A similar wire is attached to the bottom of the load and another load of 1 kg from this lower wire. Ratio of longitudinal strain of upper wire to the lower wire. So both of them are made up of the same material. Okay, look here. The problem is like this. This is a wire made up of a metal. To the end of it 2 kg is suspended. At the bottom end of the load, the same material wire is suspended and another 1 kg is attached to the lower end of the second wire. Ratio of the longitudinal strain of the upper wire to the lower wire. Upper to the lower wire is asked. See here, Y is equal to stress by ratio of longitudinal strain is asked. So Y is equal to stress by strain. Longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. So strain is equal to longitudinal stress by Y. Longitudinal stress is F by A. Longitudinal stress is F by A here. So here area of cross section is same and Young's modulus is same. So strain is proportional to F. On the upper wire experiences the force, that is here strain relation, strain in the upper wire by strain in the lower wire is equal to force experienced by the upper wire. Say, let us take this as T1. T1 is equal to M1 plus M2 into G. 2 plus 1 into G. And tension in this is nothing but 1 into G. So this is 3:1. So the ratios, it is 3. The ratio of longitudinal strain in the upper wire to that in the lower wire is equal to 3 here. That is a simple problem. Okay, move on to the next problem. Look here, a similar kind of problem we have already seen. So two blocks of masses are arranged as shown. The radius of the wire is given as 4 into 10 power minus 4 meters. Young's modulus is given. You are supposed to find the longitudinal strain. And once again, strain is equal to, just now we have seen, strain is equal to stress by Y. Right? So you need to find out stress. What is stress? Stress is equal to F by A, Y. So here radius is given, so we can find out the area just using the formula pi r square. Radius of the wire is given as 4 into 10 power minus 5. So area of cross section becomes pi r square. Pi into 16 into 10 to the power of minus 10. Young's modulus is given as 2 into 10 to the power of 11. You are supposed to find the longitudinal strain. So here we could get the value of A and they have given Y. We can find out strain only when we know the restoring force developed in the string, which is nothing but tension developed in the string. And in case of Atwood's machine, we have already seen tension in the string is given by the relation 2m1 m2g by m1 plus m2, from which it is 2m1 m2g by m1 plus m2. This is equal to 80 by 3. So just on substitution, we got like this, 5 by 60, or if you cancel this, 1 by 12 pi. The question is asked in an interesting manner. Look here, it is given as 1 by alpha pi. We got it as 1 by 12 pi. It is given as 1 by alpha pi. So in place of alpha, we got 1 by alpha is 1 by 12. So alpha is equal to 12. That is the answer for that problem. Move on to the next problem. Look here. Each of 3 blocks P, Q, R shown in the figure has mass 3 kg each. Each of the wire A and B has the cross-sectional area. Both of them, they have same cross-sectional area, 0.005 into 10 power minus 4 meters square, and Young's modulus 2 into 10 power 11. In the problem, he also gave the value of G as 10 meter per second square. What is asked in the problem? Longitudinal strain. Once again, strain is equal to stress by Y. So stress is equal to F by Y, A into Y. F by A is stress, F by A into Y. So here cross-sectional area is given. So area is straight away given and Y is straight away given, but the problem is we have to find out the force. That is, the restoring force developed in the rope B is nothing but tension developed in the rope. So again, what technique we have? See here, acceleration of this will be net force divided by total mass. Net force is equal to, this mass is 3g and total mass already here I have done it. So net force is equal to its weight of the hanging block, that is 3 into g, divided by total mass of the system, 3 plus 3 plus 3. So it becomes g by 3, 10 by 3 meter per second square. So here the tension is nothing but when it is given a downward acceleration, tension developed in the supporting rope will be m into g minus a. That is from free body diagram. We have done several problems and we have proved that it is T into T is equal to m of g minus a. That is 3 into g is 10 minus a, we got it as 10 by 3. So I have just substituted that value of a here. So F is equal to 10 minus 10 by 3 is 20 by 3. So 60 by 3. So I have substituted 60 by 3 in place of F, and A is given as 5 into 10 to the power of minus 7, and this is given as 2 into 10 to the power of 11. So on simplification, we got it as 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So longitudinal strain is something multiplied by 10 power minus 4. So it is 2. The numerical value is 2. Now last problem for today's class. Two metallic wires P and Q have same volume. Very important. Volume is same, made up of the same material. So volume is same, Young's modulus is same. Cross sections are in the ratio 4:1. Right? And force F1 is applied to P and extension delta L is produced. Which force is applied on the second wire for the same extension? So volume is same, Young's modulus is same, extension is same, areas of cross section ratio is given, forces applied are asked. See here, we know only one formula, Y is FL by AE. Now here let us from this, actually they didn't mention anything about length here. So if they don't mention anything about length, V is equal to A into L, from which L is equal to V by A. Substitute V by A in place of L, you will be getting Y is equal to FV by A square E. Now carefully round off the same factors in both cases. Y is same for both, volume is same for both, extension is same for both, areas of cross section are different. So, force applied is proportional to A square. So, in the first wire force is given, what is the force, restoring force developed in the second wire? It is A2 by A1 whole square into F1, right? See here, so F2 is equal to A2 by A1, that is you are asked to find the F1 by F2 ratio, that is it, not F2. See here what is asked, F1 by F2 is, so from this expression F1 by F2 is equal to A1 by A2 whole square, that is A1 by A2 ratio is 4:1, so it is 4 square, or the answer is 16. So, that is the correct answer for that problem. See, after learning all these 40 questions from elasticity so far, the concepts are very simple, but you have to be cautious while doing the calculation. So, that you need to practice at home. While solving the problems, you have to solve the problem till the end, so that until you get the correct answer, then you don't do calculation mistakes in the final exam. So, we are targeting at 99 percentile, so we have to be perfect. Okay, thank you and bye-bye.